And our next story is from Norway. It has received a request for asylum from a Wagner mercenary. His name is Andrei Medvedev. He is a former member of the Wagner group, a private paramilitary force from Russia, whose troops are fighting the Ukraine war. Medvedev left the group recently and has now surrendered to Norway. According to reports, he crossed the border last Friday and tried entering Norwegian soil, but was detained by the authorities. Now, for the unversed, Norway shares a 198-kilometer-long border with Russia, and right now it is under a heavy security cover by Norway's federal security officers. They followed the man's footprints in snow and eventually caught him on the bank of a river.
During the night to Friday at approximately 1:58, a person was arrested in Pasvik-Dalen on suspicion of illegally crossing the Norwegian-Russian border. There was a person who came over and contacted the civilian population in the area. He was ungrammatically arrested by a joint border patrol between the defense and the police.
So who exactly is this guy? Here's what we know so far. He is just 26 years old. He joined the Wagner group in July last year. He commanded over 15 fighters in the group. He led battles in the Ukrainian city of Bakhmut. But he deserted the group around November. And why? Because of executions of his colleagues. He says that he saw Wagner fighters being killed over charges of cowardice, desertion, and low casualty rates. And these claims have not been independently verified. This is all according to his own account. Listen to this.
On July 6, 2022, I signed a contract with this company and departed for Ukraine. I was assigned to the 7th Assault Squadron, where I was made commander of the 1st Squad. Then in August, they started bringing prisoners from various prisons in the Russian Federation to serve in the military. Overall, their attitude changed when the prisoners arrived. They no longer counted us as human beings. I know for sure about 3 cases where prisoners who tried to run away from hospitals after being wounded were shot dead. Also, 10 people were shot on the training ground in front of prisoners who just arrived. It was done as a deterrent. They are traitors. They refuse to fight. Look what happens to them.
A Russian human rights group that helped this man leave Russia has apparently confirmed his identity. They say that his escape is the first known instance of a soldier from the Wagner group defecting to the West. They say he has apparently taken some evidence of war crimes with him, which he intends to share with the Norwegian authorities in the days ahead. Let's listen in to a statement from his lawyer.
He applied for asylum in Norway, so he must go through the entire analysis process, both related to verifying that he is who he is and that he is telling the truth, and to what extent he has grounds for asylum in Norway. It's a demanding process where the Norwegian authorities go through the person very carefully. Of course, the word war crimes is in the background here all the time. I would like to believe that both the Norwegian police, especially Kripos, which is responsible for investigating international crimes, but there is also interest from international bodies. It is clear that the International Criminal Court in The Hague will probably be interested in talking to him.
Now, look at this report. It's from the 14th of February. This was a few days before the war in Ukraine started. This is from February 2022. This report said that Russian mercenaries with ties to Moscow's spies were increasing their presence in Ukraine. And now have a look at this report. It's from last week itself. It says that the security services of Ukraine had uncovered 600 Russian spies in Ukraine since last year. These spies had entered Ukraine to sabotage its military operations and target its intelligence infrastructure. Now, you have a Russian mercenary being caught along the Norway border, claiming to have deserted his faction. My point is quite simple. There is no guarantee if this man is indeed a deserter or a spy sent by Russia to monitor Norway's affairs. And I say this because throughout last year, Norway has consistently backed Ukraine and called out Russia's military maneuvers. In fact, a few weeks ago, the Norwegian PM went to the extent of saying that Russia's invasion might extend to Norway's borders. So the authorities in Norway will have to be vigilant and tread with caution here. They cannot take things at face value and fall for what this man is saying. Only a detailed investigation will decipher if he is a former mercenary or a spy. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.